Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10,
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Fight fans, this is the 13th round where we discuss all things boxing that are boxing. And on today's episode, we will pose the question and ask if Brian Norman Jr. ducked Jaron Boots Ennis. We will also roll out our membership packages and unveil the perks of being a member here at Rounds Boxing Club, and we will recap Naoya Inoue versus TJ Doheny and the Diego Pacheco versus Maciek Selecki fight card. But before we get into it, how we do it, be sure that you hit that like button. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and get into the latest and greatest of boxing news.
Terrence Crawford has now vacated all of his 147-pound titles.
All right. Terrence Bud Crawford has vacated the WBA title at welterweight. Now, Iomantas Stanionis has been elevated to the regular welterweight, WBA welterweight champion. This should be no surprise to people of the boxing world. You know, we all know that Terrence Crawford was not entertaining the 147-pound division after he won the Undisputed Championship over Errol Spence last year. In the wake of becoming Undisputed Welterweight Champion, Crawford had been stripped of the IBF belt and became the WBC's so-called champion in recess, and he also vacated the WBO title. The WBA title was the last championship that Terrence Crawford possessed in the welterweight division. Terrence Crawford moved up to the junior middleweight division and defeated Israel Madrimov last month for the WBA's title in that weight class. While Crawford is no longer the WBA's primary title holder at welterweight, the honor now belongs to Iomantas Stanionis. The IBF welterweight title now belongs to Jaron Ennis, who was elevated from the interim world title once Terrence Crawford was stripped. And the WBC title holder is Mario Boxa Barrios, who won the interim title back in September of 2023. And the WBO welterweight belt is in the hands of Brian Norman Jr. And speaking of Brian Norman Jr., we have some news about Brian Norman Jr. You know, as you guys know, Brian Norman Jr. was in the news heavily over the past 2 or 3 weeks in negotiations with Jaron Boots Ennis. Those two had a few words back and forth. You know, they were tweeting about each other. Both accused each other of ducking one another. Jaron Ennis versus Brian Norman Jr., the talks have now collapsed. Norman is now to face Derek Cuevas November 8th. In what should come as no surprise, Top Rank's Carl Moretti tells Dan Rafael that talks of a unification bout between the IBF champion Jerron Boots Ennis and the WBO title holder Brian Norman Jr. are dead over money. Brian Norman Jr. turned down $1.7 million, which would have been the biggest payday of his career. Instead, now Brian Norman Jr. will meet the number 7 contender Derek Cuevas on ESPN's November 8th Keyshawn Davis versus Gustavo Lemos fight card. This news sets Jerron Ennis up for a potential rematch with Karen Chikashkian. So, this leads me to pose the question of the day. All right, today's question of the day. Do you as a boxing fan think or believe that Brian Norman Jr. ducked Jerron Boots Ennis? They were going to pay Brian Norman Jr. the biggest purse of his career thus far, making $1.7 million, and he won't be able to make that with anybody else in the welterweight division. So that was a hell of a payday. Do you believe that Brian Norman Jr. ducked Jerron Boots Ennis, or do you believe it was just a strategy to build the fight and this fight will happen later on? Right now, what I'm going to do is drop the phone lines so you guys can chime in and let us know if you believe that Brian Norman Jr. ducked Jerron Boots Ennis. The number to call into is 213-543-4464. Be sure to hit us up, chime in, and let us know what you think about Jerron Ennis and Boots Ennis. Did Boots Ennis duck? Did Brian Norman Jr. duck Jerron Boots Ennis? All right. So, speaking of rematches, because what this is doing is setting up Jerron Boots Ennis to have a rematch with Karen Chikashkian, who he beat last year via unanimous decision. Speaking of rematches, Rafael Espinosa and Robeisy Ramirez will be having a rematch later on this year. The featherweight title fight rematch was ordered by the WBO on Wednesday. The two sides have until September 19th to reach a deal for what would be a sequel to their thriller last December. The camps have been granted 15 days to negotiate and reach an agreement as ordered. WBO Championship Committee Chairman Luis Batista Salas stated in a ruling obtained by the ring, failure to reach an accord within the period outlined herein will result in the committee ordering a purse bid proceedings. Any of the parties involved may request purse bid proceedings at any time during the negotiation process. The minimum bid for the WBO flyweight division is $150,000. Espinosa ended Robeisy Ramirez WBO featherweight title run with the majority win over Robeisy Ramirez on December 9th. The bout was hailed by many amongst one of the best fights of 2023. Espinosa has until December 9th to make his first mandatory title defense. So what this is setting up, you see, Rafael Espinosa has to make a mandatory title defense by December 9th, which to me sets up the rematch between Robeisy Ramirez and Rafael Espinosa to be on that Keyshawn Davis versus Gustavo Lemos fight card, which will be held, I believe, December 7th. That I believe that Robeisy Ramirez rematch with Rafael Espinosa will be on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis versus Gustavo Lemos on December 7th. So, right now, we are going to have a quick message from Mr. James Lights Out Tony.
Yo, what's up? This is James Lights Out Tony, the one only. Please go subscribe to Ron's Bicycle Club, my people, great people. I guarantee go to the gym, check them out. Lights out, baby, all day, every day.
All right, Tuesday morning, Naoya Inoue took on TJ Doheny in Japan. And boy, it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Naoya Inoue controlled the fight for the most part. And I tell you something, one thing about TJ Doheny is when I first was watching that fight, this ain't my first time watching him, but I thought he had bad footwork. But his footwork isn't bad. It doesn't look the best. You know, it's not eye-catching, but TJ Doheny has very effective footwork in the ring. That's one thing that I did notice in that fight. And towards the end of that fight, in maybe the last, not the last 2 rounds, but maybe around the 2, TJ Doheny did do good work in that fight. I gave him 2 rounds in the fight. I thought he won 2 rounds against Naoya Inoue, but Naoya Inoue went on to do what Naoya Inoue does, and we got some highlights. Sheesh. Did y'all hear the sounds of those body shots? Let's listen to it one more time. I'm talking about Naoya Inoue hit TJ Doheny so damn hard he knocked all the motor skills off his ass. Let's listen to these body shots. He's hitting them with body shots. It's a close-up, a ringside close-up, but if you listen to these body shots, Naoya Inoue is punching. God damn. Listen. TJ Doheny could barely walk out of the ring. He needed help getting out of the ring all the way back to the dressing room. And we got some footage of TJ Doheny post-fight. And listen to what he said happened to him, because that was a weird-ass ending in that fight. He didn't go down, and the referee just didn't call a break to the action. But I guess, you know, Naoya Inoue realized that he hurt TJ Doheny so bad because he just laid off of him and completely walked away. And Doheny retired in the corner right after that. And here's a look at TJ Doheny post-fight explaining why he could not continue on in the contest.
You guys sitting with their jaws hanging on the floor.
Yeah, what was it on the back? Like the sciatic?
It's the muscle right above my hip, Sean. I just can't use my leg.
All of a sudden felt the leg go dead, right?
Right leg. I tried to push off. When I come back out, I tried to push off, and I went, nah.
Yeah, no, you could see it then.
And now the more I try it.
Listen, you know, a lot of people are clamoring for Naoya Inoue to move up and fight Tank Davis. I think that's a little bit of a stretch for Naoya Inoue. But I tell you one thing. Y'all remember when Tank knocked the eyesight out of Hector Luis Garcia? These boys, they knocking God-given abilities out of people. Tank knocked the eyesight out of Hector Luis Garcia, and Naoya Inoue knocked the motor skills out of TJ Doheny. I mean, damn. But the good part is, you know how we do here at Rounds Boxing Club, we do make boxing wagers. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We got to the bag. Betting on boxing. On this week's edition, we placed a straight bet taking Naoya Inoue to defeat TJ Doheny in between rounds 7 and 8. And as expected, Naoya Inoue stopped TJ Doheny in round number 7. $90.91 in total wagers gave us a total payout of $1,090.92, giving us a grand total profit of $1,000.01. Cha-ching! I told y'all we got to the bag. For real, the bag, you hear me? And yeah, that you guys know I put my tickets in the community section. Well, I was putting the tickets in the community section of our channel, but now we'll get to the membership package in a minute. We got memberships here at Rounds Boxing Club. I want to help you guys get to the bag. Help me help you, but we'll get into that a little bit later on in the show. Let's go ahead and continue to cover these fight results. Diego Pacheco, last weekend, Diego Pacheco took on Maciej Sulecki in a super middleweight showdown. And Diego Pacheco, who we know is trained by David Benavidez, did not disappoint. And we have highlights of the footage in that fight.
Welcome to the Diego Pacheco Show. It's a big show. It's a big show.
All right, as you saw, Diego Pacheco won that fight via 6-round knockout over Maciej Sulecki. And what made that victory so impressive for Diego Pacheco was that Maciej Sulecki has been in the ring with some heavy punchers, throughout his career, and Sulecki had never been stopped. And Diego Pacheco was the first one to stop Maciej Sulecki before the final bell. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We got to the bag in that fight.
Betting on boxing. On this week's edition, we placed a straight bet taking Diego Pacheco to defeat Maciej Sulecki in between rounds 5 and 6. And as expected, Diego Pacheco stopped Maciej Sulecki in round number 6. $100 in total wagers gave us a total payout of $520, giving us a grand total profit of $420. Cha-ching!
Eduardo Nunez was also in action, and he improved his record. I believe Eduardo Nunez is now 28-0, 29-0. He's somewhere around 28-0, 29-0. It is time for Eduardo Nunez to get a title shot. And listen, Eduardo Nunez knocked the hell out of Buddy. The guy he was fighting, listen, Eduardo Nunez put a beating on him. Look at this. Watch this knockdown. He damn near knocked this boy completely through the ropes and out the ring. Oh my God. Man, hold on. We got to see that one more time. You look at that overhand right he hit him with, and he damn near knocked that boy out of his socks. Man, what Smokey had told Debo? What Smokey told Red when Debo hit him? You got knocked the out. Man, that was a beautiful knockout by Eduardo Nunez, a beatdown, a display of pure boxing brilliance, and I'm looking forward to seeing Eduardo Nunez in a championship fight. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll give you another chance to guess. Guess what? We got to the bag in that fight as well.
Betting on boxing. On this week's edition, we placed a live bet taking Eduardo Nunez to defeat Miguel Mariaga in between rounds 5 and 6. And as expected, Eduardo Nunez stopped Miguel Mariaga in round number 6. $200 in total wagers gave us a total payout of $353.85, giving us a grand total profit of $153.85. Cha-ching!
All right. One of my partners, one of the guests from the 13th round, getting ready to return to the ring, and he has a special message for you guys. So right now, I will turn the show over to Mr. Jeremy Zero Hill.
All right. What's down? Zero, you know what I'm saying? After a hard day work, I'm just letting y'all know I got the tickets for the fight September 14th, the Clash on the Coast, Gulfport, Mississippi. It's going to be me, John Boy, Breeder, Gator, Belt, some pro debut fighters that y'all gonna love and come out and support you, dig what I'm saying? I got the tickets on hand. We got table tickets, VIP table seats. Everybody who get a table get a signed glove, autographed glove from every fighter on the card. You think what I'm saying? So you know it's gonna be worth something because we all champs and we know all these legends. We know one thing for sure, we gon' hold it down and represent right. So, holler at me for the tickets. You dig what I'm saying? The table come with 10 people to a table. You dig what I'm saying? That's $100 a seat. That's ringside seats for $100. You ain't beating that. You ain't beating that noise here. Might well come get it. Come holler at your boy. Come fuck with the fight. We gonna do what we gotta do. We gonna hold y'all down and do it right. You dig what I'm saying?
We definitely dig what you're saying. Big shout out to Jeremy Zero Hill. That fight will be over in Gulfport, Mississippi. It's going to be a beautiful atmosphere. I might be out there. You know, that's my birthday weekend. I have not all the way made my plans yet, but that is one of the options to go to Gulfport and check out my man Jeremy Zero Hill. That fight will be under the pavilion out there on the beach. It's going to be an outdoor fight under a pavilion on the beach. It should be a beautiful atmosphere. It will be. We got boxing fights outside on the beach. Shit, what's better? You can't beat that with a stick. So big shout out to Jeremy Zero Hill and everybody else on that card except Jeremy Zero Hill's opponent. We coming for you, baby. Big shout out Jeremy Hill. So as I was saying earlier, as the norm here at Rounds Boxing Club is I post my bet slips for my boxing wagers in the community tab. You know, and not saying I won't ever do it again because every now and then I will drop a few freebies for everyone. But if you want to get to the bag on a continuous basis, you'd want to get a membership here at Rounds Boxing Club. You know, we have 4 different tiers. We have our prospect tier, our contender tier, our champion tier, and our undisputed tier. And right now, I will break down the perks of each tier.
Let's start with the prospect package. At only $2.99, all members will receive a prioritized reply to all comments, shoutouts at the end of every live stream, behind the scenes photos and status updates, and loyalty badges next to your name in the comment section and live chat. Our contender package is $4.99 and it includes all the perks from the prospect package in addition to members only videos, members only live streams, early access to new videos, members only shorts, and our weekly boxing betting slips, including our best boxing bets. Our champion package is $9.99, which includes all of the perks from the prospect and contender tiers, in addition to custom workout plans, custom meal plans, and access to our best sports bets with our weekly bet slips from all sports. And finally, our undisputed package is $24.99, which includes all of the perks from our prospect, contender, and champion tiers, in addition to a 1-hour weekly session of personal training and discounted merchandise in the Rounds Boxing Club store.
All right. You can't beat that, man. So the tiers start at $4.99, which is the prospect tier. But the tier that you'd want to get if you want our bet slips for boxing every week will be the $9.99, the contender tier. The contender package on up will get you our bet slips. Plus, of course, you know, the packages, they grow on each other. So if you get the contender package, it does include the prospect package. The champion package includes the prospect and contender package, and the undisputed package includes all 3 packages plus the perks in the undisputed package. So one time for the good time, if you guys trying to get to the bag, you already know what to do. All right. The NFL season is upon us, and tonight the NFL season kicks off with the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Baltimore Ravens, which will be a rematch of the AFC Championship. And in honor of football season kicking off, I got a little montage for you.
You're talking to the Rolex.
Yeah.
Wear it. You're talking to the Rolex.
Yeah.
Wear it. Yeah.
Diamond ring wearing. Woo! Kiss stealing.
Woo! Wheeling dealing. Limousine riding.
Woo! Now give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair.
Woo! Glad the NFL season is back upon us. Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya, had a few choice words for Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather.
It's your favorite time of the week again. It's time for the only segment in the boxing world that gives you facts and laughs. It's Clapback Thursdays, motherfuckers. But this week it's coming on a Friday because I'm on vacation and I make the rules. The boxing news is still lame as hell this week, but there are a few topics I want to address. Okay, Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real shit show that left the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're going to have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro. As I've always said, it's hard to make money, but it's even harder to keep it. Floyd, I'm rooting for you. Come on, let's turn it around. And speaking of these horrible exhibition matches, I am so fucking happy to hear and see that their popularity has finally played out. Nobody wants to see these random YouTubers fight each other anymore. I would rather walk outside my house and watch 2 bums fight in the park for free. It's the same amount of entertainment. My man Turkey Al-Sheikh is making sure that real boxing is on its way back. And he's standing on making the best fights happen, which is why Canelo doesn't like him, because he's demanding everybody to fight the very best. Which brings me to Canelo. I have 2 words for you. Archie Solis, remember him? He will be the next topic of Clapback Thursdays next week. Canelo, fuck you.
Damn. Boy, Oscar, tell us how you really feel. Look, I ain't gonna lie. De La Hoya was not lying about them YouTube exhibitions, man. I'm one of the people, I'm kind of happy that the popularity of those exhibition fights are dying down. I'm not a big fan, even though there is one guy, I'm not sure if I think he's a YouTube boxer, Dean the Great. Dean the Great has skill. I actually enjoy watching Dean the Great fight. But yeah, he had some choice words for Canelo and Floyd, and I wouldn't be right if I didn't give Canelo and Floyd a chance to clap back at De La Hoya. So, Canelo, you up first.
Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Please. Please, get the fuck out of here, man.
All right, so Canelo ain't want to hear it. Look, he told Oscar, get out of here. All right, Floyd Mayweather, it's your turn to clap back at De La Hoya. What you got for us, Floyd?
These hating ass niggas can't fuck with me. It's like 4 to the 5, 5 to the 6. Hating ass niggas all in my mix. It's like 6 to the 7, 7 to the 8. The 38 specialist set these niggas straight. It's like 8 to the 9, 9 to the 10. This a freestyle, I ain't use no pen. We getting money, yep. We hustle, yep. We got them guns, yep. We buy the bar, yep. We got them cars, yep. We poppin' tags, yep. We ballin', yep. I said we ballin', yep. We getting money, yep. We hustle, yep. We got them guns, yep. We buy the bar, yep. We got them cars, yep. We poppin' tags, yep. We ballin', yep. I said we ballin', yep. It's like ding dong. I'm like my shit straight. Get your shit together. Real cocky, real flashy. You in the wrong lane, you can't pass me. They see the cars, they see the chips, they see the hoes, they on my dick. I make it storm, I make it rain.
All right, Floyd dropped a diss track back at Oscar. Had to get that get back, huh, Floyd? This week in boxing, we don't have a lot of action, but September is action-packed. You got Berlanga taking on Canelo Alvarez this month. You got Anthony AJ Joshua fighting Daniel Dubois. I believe that's September 21st. Michaela Meyer will be returning to the ring, and that's a big fight, taking on Sandy Ryan. What other fights they got this month? This a good month for fights. We got a slow first weekend. This Saturday in Perth, Australia, Dom Niem Tong will be taking on Alex Winwood for the WBA minimum weight championship of the world. You know, that's really the most significant bout this weekend. So, we kind of gearing up for this September 14th, this big card with Caleb Plant, Canelo Alvarez, Rolly Romero. Should be a really fire card as far as the fighters who are involved on the card. I'm not sure the matchups will be that competitive, but of course we will be watching here at Rounds Boxing Club, and that is our birthday weekend. Not sure if we'll be live for the Canelo fight. I'm not sure if I'll be out of town, but if I am in town, we will be right here live for the fight. So right now, y'all know how we get down here at Rounds Boxing Club. It's time to rock out before we clock out and give a few of our subscribers some shout outs. All right. Big shout out goes to one of our new subscribers, Trizzy Dollars. Shout out Trizzy Dollars. Big shout out goes to Salvador Pineda. Major shout out to Anthony's A-List. Shout out Ray B. Walker and the Royalty Boxing Club on Facebook. Shout out to MGE Network. Shout out Bernie the Boxer. Shout out Mr. Theo. Big shout out goes to Bliss Matthews. Shout out the Gadfly Gang. Shout out Fast Car Eddie Chambers. Eddie Hitman Hearns, I'm sorry. Big shout out to the House of Marquee. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 13th round, and I am your host, Armand Rounds. You know the drill. As always, like, subscribe, protect yourself at all times. We out. Peace.